Lynton, welcome to the studio and thank you for joining us today because today we're going to talk all things blue. We're going to be talking about the ocean. So welcome to the studio.
It is great to be here. I am so excited to chat to you about the ocean.
So Lynton, tell us a little bit more about who you are and how you actually got to be part of this conversation when we're talking about the ocean economy, ocean innovation, and just your relationship with the ocean.
So, like many people, I've always loved the ocean since a small boy. I think it started with a fascination with life in rock pools, which are little microcosms of the bigger ocean. So that's my first memory of the ocean is, being really fascinated with the things that are going on in this rock pool, feeding anemones with little shells. And then, I really fell deeply in love with the ocean in Tsitsikamma.
That's in the Eastern Cape of South Africa.
Yeah, in the southern part of South Africa, where the roaring 40s smash against.
Okay, hold on. There's so many things that you've already said. When we say the roaring 40s, what do we mean? Because I'm only starting to understand a lot about the ocean, even though I grew up alongside the ocean myself. So roaring 40s, let's unpack that.
Okay, great. Yeah, good start. So the roaring 40s are the part of the Southern Ocean that are sort of more or less halfway between the southern point of South Africa and Antarctica.
Right.
So a lot of our waves, as I understand it, are born there and they roll up northwards and smash onto our coastline. Okay. So Tsitsikamma is sort of, parallel to that wave action, and it's a rocky shore. It's a very spiritual place. The word Tsitsikamma means the place of thundering water in Gum, the Khoisan language, and I was privileged enough to spend 2 years as a university student there diving and looking at the marine protected area that is Tsitsikamma. It's been a marine protected area since 1964. So I got to dive there and see the incredible sea life that's protected by the marine protected area and see the difference between inside the park and outside the park. So I dived, inside the park and then on the east and west side of the park, and there's just such a stark contrast.
What did you see?
So, basically more fish, more life, more diversity of life and fish inside the park compared to outside. So that was my, real sort of introduction to the plight of the ocean, and one of the problems that we facing being overconsumption, overfishing. So I was exposed to that, but really at a deeper level fell in love with what's down there, and I've been diving for 30 years now, all over the world. I've had the privilege of living and diving in many parts of the world in many different roles, but the ocean's always been a central core to that journey of mine.
Great. And I think for me, what excites me in terms of what you're saying there is, as the Branson Center, we're having this conversation around ocean innovation.
Exciting.
And trying to even understand what we mean by that. We don't even know what we don't know. But what is clear is that for us as a center of entrepreneurship, we are understanding that the ocean is the driver of the economy, whether it's because of transportation, whether it's because of the resources that you can find under, next to the ocean. And so it's interesting that the ocean's been central in your life, I think, obviously from a professional point of view, but also a personal point of view. So your long-standing relationship with the ocean means you've seen it in many versions around the world, or maybe sometimes in the same spot. How have you seen the nature of the ocean change over the last 30 years, at least, that you've been deeply engaged with it?
Yeah. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of negative change that I've seen firsthand around the world. The last, in my lifetime, we've really got to see coral bleaching, the warming of the ocean, overconsumption, killing of bigger marine mammal species that's continued, pollution, plastic, pouring into the ocean. So there's a lot of negative stories, but there's also positive stories. I've seen in that time greater inclusivity. People are realizing that the ocean is for everyone, and so cross generations, color, backgrounds, people are getting involved with the ocean like never before, which is really, really exciting.
That's such good news.
That's what keeps me going.
Yes. And thank you for sharing that good news, because I think, whenever I ask this question, the assumption is that we're going to go down this dark, horrible path that's going to leave us quite despondent. So, you're bringing back this idea of the fact that people are actually more involved, more people feel that they have a role to play, and a meaningful role to play in the repair or the sustainability of the ocean. That makes me really, really happy. And so when you think about, the different roles that you've played in your life, through your professional life specifically, what examples can you give us in terms of your contribution then to some of this good news that we have about what's going on with the ocean?
So, I've written a novel called She Down There, which is a book about being in love with the ocean. It's a love story that takes place in Western Canada, South Africa, and Mozambique. And it really, it came out 2 years ago, and it was something that had been brewing inside of me for probably 25 years. So it really brought together my love for the ocean and also for Africa. So, and having the book published by Penguin in South Africa is what brought me back to the shores here. I'd been living in Australia and Mauritius, and I've lived in Canada and worked in Europe, but I'm really drawn to the ocean challenge in Africa and the Indian Ocean, which is one of the shores, obviously, of Africa, because this, if we can do it, if we can help heal the ocean, then I think it's an example for other countries. There are a lot of challenges in Africa. We don't have massive funding the way that Europe and North America and Australasia might have, but we've got all the challenges. So it's really if we can do it, then I think we can show the way. And I'm an Afro-optimist, and there are incredible entrepreneurs on this continent. And so in the ocean space, which is my interest, I run a venture capital fund called Venture Forth, which is about investing in entrepreneurs. So there's a strong overlap with what you are doing and with what I do on the coal front, coal face, as it were.
Wave face.
Wave face, yes. So it's really about pinning hope on the entrepreneurs that are going to make a difference, that are going to solve the problems, rise to the challenges, harness the renewable energy, grow the food in the ocean in a sustainable manner that we need on this planet. And it is the 11th hour. The ocean is in serious trouble, and it's giving us all the signals. We're getting the message, and the good news is, I think there are enough of us that are listening, and we can turn it around. I'm really confident of that. We always seem to do that. The human spirit always comes
prevails
to the fore in the end. We're a very intelligent species. We're also very stupid, but we seem to find our connection. Yeah. And I think that word connection is really important. I think of it as it's almost like an ultimate apartheid. this disconnection with nature. And if we're going to save ourselves and the planet, we need to reconnect with nature and follow her rhythms and her systems and fit in and not be separate.
So I think what is so interesting is all of this actually speaks to opportunity. We are being presented with an opportunity. Yes, it's urgent. Yes, it's at the 11th hour. Yes, things might feel a bit dire, but there is an opportunity here. And so for us, once you say the word opportunity, immediately it sparks interest, because it says there is a role for entrepreneurs in this opportunity. And so from your work, when you mentioned Venture Forth, why would you think that entrepreneurs specifically have a role in innovating in terms of sustaining the ocean, repairing the ocean, making sure that we are connected to the ocean?
Entrepreneurs, as we know, are driven by passion and a desire to, in this case, make a difference and do something to fix what is broken and to provide that which is needed. So it's that burning desire that at the individual level, that person that wakes up in the morning and it's a very personal drive. So as we know, entrepreneurs need to be dedicated, persistent, but it's that heartfelt desire that's there. And so when you combine good entrepreneurship with the ocean, and there's that love element with the ocean as well. It's a place that is, deeply mysterious, deeply wonderful and magical. And so if you start falling in love with the ocean, it certainly feeds into that entrepreneurial passion to, you kind of wake up, I'm going to fix you. I'm going to heal you, and I'm going to make money, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to make a go of a business to, provide food, grow kelp, grow, food in the ocean, or fix the plastic problem, turn it around, come up with a solution that is the way forward. I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to show, the rest of my species where we need to go.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
It's so exciting.
It is.
And what is making me so happy about the conversation that we've had today is that we've actually covered, and you have beautifully articulated, so much of what we believe in and stand for in the Branson Center, where, our purpose mantra is about partnering with business to build an inclusive economy that sustains healthy people and enables a thriving planet. And so, we've kind of wrapped all of that up nicely in this conversation. And so thank you for your time, Lynton. And I can't wait to see what you do with Venture Forth. I can't wait to see if what's the name of your book again?
She Down There.
She Down There, because I say she lives down there. She Down There has a sequel, or if it continues to gain critical acclaim. And so thank you so much for your time, Lynton.
I'm so excited about what you guys are doing with the center, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
Absolutely, and I hope everyone listening joins our Ocean Innovation Challenge and joins the Ocean Innovation Network to be in conversation with people like you and in conversation with each other and find peers and make sure that we're all, building towards a healthy ocean.
The time is ripe. The time is really good for what you're doing, so well done.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you. Can I do it?
Go for it.
Take
Yay!
Yeah, let me take that from you. Amazing.
Yeah, we need to have a process of what to do with it.
Eh? Seriously?
You weren't at
I'm
the
a
slate.
natural.
You are a natural.